Greetings, everyone. I've got a mask on. Let me take that off because I am indoors. As if to say, if you're outdoors, put your mask on. Hey, check it out. It is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. It is me, Tony B, your IT guy. My windows are open. Nice air is coming in. You may hear some of everything out there, but that's just the community. All right, it is October, Cybersecurity Awareness Month. I want to talk about cybersecurity for the average citizen or for the citizen. This month, CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, kicks off with Do Your Part for week 1. Hashtag Be Cyber Smart. These resources that I am presenting to you all come from CISA's website. I'm just giving you the condensed version of it. Please feel free to visit there. When I post this up to YouTube, I'll provide you with different links for different things that you can do to protect your environment and your home network. All right, so firstly, we're going to do is defining cybersecurity. Cybersecurity functions off the principles of the CIA triad. That is not the Central Intelligence Agency, though they're heavily involved. This is confidentiality, which yours is yours only, integrity, that whatever you have is never changed or compromised, and availability, ready when you need it. And that goes into the triad. There is your example of the triangle, and it's all about protecting your data. Okay, what does this mean for the average citizen? Similar to what it means for people in cybersecurity and in technology. You want to ensure that your information is private. You want to make sure that it hasn't been compromised, and you want to ensure that it's there when you need it. Well, what does that mean? That's great. Well, let's talk about your money in your bank, for instance. All right. So you want to ensure that your account is yours only. You also want to ensure that no one can change the status of your account, get into it, and change you from a millionaire to a brokenaire. All right. That's not a real word, but just do it for entertainment purposes. And you want to ensure that the money is always available when you need it. Okay, that's cybersecurity in a nutshell for the average person. Today, we're going to deal with a few more things that surround this. We're going to talk about passwords. We're going to talk about your home router, and we're going to talk about child safety online. Okay, passwords. So we get this thing that's called giving you access, right? When you go to your bank, you know, some of you may have seen more banks or even more companies coming up with this thing where it's like, hey, would you like to set up another layer of security? That layer of security, sometimes we call it 2FA for two-factor authentication or MFA for multi-factor authentication. Just throwing some words out there. Don't get caught up in them. Regardless of that, some of you may log into your bank account and you find that you get a text message where you have to put a PIN number in, a code that they send you. You put that in after your password, and then you're allowed to get into the system. So that's a form of authentication methods, right? It's to make sure that you can get it. So if you're doing passwords, you may want to use a password manager. I use LastPass. This is not a promotional. I don't know anyone from LastPass. They have not reached out to me to advertise for them, and I don't even have that many subscribers to advertise yet. However, you want to use a password manager. What this does when you're putting your information into a website, if you download the extension, Password Manager will save these passwords for you. It'll also let you know if your password is secure enough. It will also let you know, depending on the version that you have, if your password's been used before in a previous web hack for anything. All right. So one thing you do not want to do is use the same password for every application that you use. That's not a good way to go about this. LastPass made a change. And so before, you could use LastPass on your cell phone and your web browser, but they've changed for the free version. So you can only have one or the other. I pay for it, 4 trips to Starbucks, and you're good to go. So just consider a password manager. There are more than LastPass out there, but LastPass is my preference. That's just what I use as a professional. If you don't want to do that, then I'm giving you some examples here, which you can see in that last slide of what it's like to create a pretty well-versed password. Some folks may challenge me on this. They may say it's overkill. They may say it's not good enough. I think it's just fine. So I'm not going to read that off to you, but make sure that you're mixing up, you're using uppercase, lowercase, characters, numbers, uppercase, lowercase, characters, number, and try not to do it in any kind of sequence. Stop using your birthdays. There are things out there called dictionary attacks, but they just take random words from the dictionary. So just stop doing things in general like that to protect yourself and your password. The next piece I want to talk to you about is that home router that you may get from Comcast or RCN, AT&T, or Wild Cable, or any other service that's provided in your state. All right. You do not want to continue using the default SSID or identifier. When you click on your wireless and you see all of these all of these connections pop up, those are called SSIDs. Those are identifiers, right? You don't want to use the default that comes with your system. Not saying you can't, just not recommended. What you want is somebody in your family, like Tony, the IT guy, who can come over and help you set up your home network the way you want it. Think of a different name. You don't want something like, oh, the name of your house as your router. Those are things you don't want to typically do. And also, the default settings that come with these routers are not necessarily secure. They use one of the lowest, what we call encryption methods to protect your passwords. And so you definitely want to reach out to someone, unless you're computer savvy and you can go on YouTube and find these things out on your own. Change your SSID, set up your security settings. If you have a wireless network now, there's things called like a guest network you can set up for your family and friends when they come over to visit. The reason you want to do that is you don't want someone to just take a picture and be able to read your password straight off of your box. And so most of these routers also come with parental controls. And you can get to a really granular level where every computer has what we call an address. It's called a MAC address. You can program every device that you have in your house when you know someone to say, hey, I only want the devices in my house to connect to my network. And they can do something that's called putting your MAC address or the address to your device. So just like your home address, when mail comes to your house, when the post office gets it right, that's not a shot to the post office because they got a lot of work to do and they've been working crazy overtime. Not going to get into that right now. But it's the same way. Every computer, every electronic device has a MAC address. You can program those all within your router, so only those devices can connect to your home system. We're not going to get into MAC spoofing because, yeah, I'm not going into all of that. All right. Next piece, child safety. So if you have an iPhone users have serious parental control. You can control how long games are played, which apps are installed. Parents can get hit with a permission to allow a child to put an app on their phone as soon as they get hit. I'm not sure about the Android world, but in the apps that are utilized on the iPhone, that's great. But with the Android phones, you can do this. I pulled this off of consumersadvocate.org. Apps for your children's phone. Bark, and I'm not going to try to pronounce that. I pulled this off the site. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that word. Yeah, Qustodio. I don't know why I spelled it because y'all can see it right there. But why did I put a seatbelt up? Well, just like we have seatbelts for our safety, child seats for protecting our younger toddlers, cybersecurity is the exact same way. You want to make sure your children are protected. Now, at a certain age, I just say this: trust and verify. We like to believe that our kids are the best in the bunch all the time, which we should, but we should also just make sure that they are also making safety protocols. So those are the few things I wanted to talk to you about on this opening week of Cybersecurity Awareness Month, cybersecurity for the citizen. Next week, we're going to talk about kicking off week 2, fry the fish, and we'll get a little bit into what phishing emails are. What's going on with me? As you know, I've been new to cybersecurity as of the end of December of 2020. And so passed a Security Plus in April of this year, and I'm moving on to CISSP, which will officially start today. I was supposed to start Saturday, but y'all know how life happens. So I'm starting today. I've got a ton of resources that I'll be using, and I'll be talking about that journey as I go through. Not too much because I'll be in the books. But hey, welcome to Cybersecurity Awareness Month. It is October. Do something to make sure your home is secure. It's your boy, Tony B, the IT guy. I am out of here. Have a great one, everyone.